Hello, I'm Jason Korsner, and a couple of things I really like are coming to the park to enjoy the fresh air and the scenery, and also having a bit of fun with books. And today I'm at the boating lake down at Sefton Park in Liverpool, and the book I've chosen to have some fun with is called I Like to Put Food in My Welly, and this is one of the first two books that I published with graphic. And what this book does is play around with language, which is why we can have so much fun with it. And just one little thing before we start reading it: boating lake here, boating lake here. I want you to listen out and look out to see whether you can spot the boating lake in the book as we're reading it. We're going to start off with a little chapter called Butter. The butter goes on the bread. The hat goes on your head. You go to sleep on the bed. All perfectly normal. In fact, nothing very funny about this page at all, except of course the illustrations by Max Lowe, which they're funny right from the start. But if we now mix up the words a bit at the end of the sentences, we get the butter goes on your head, the hat goes on the bed, you go to sleep on the bread. Doesn't sound right, does it? The butter goes on the bed, the hat goes on the bread, you go to sleep on your head. That doesn't sound at all comfortable, does it? Now the next chapter is called Rabbit. You pull a rabbit from your hat, if you're a magician, of course. You stroke a cuddly, purring cat. You wipe your feet upon the mat. All relatively normal. You pull a rabbit from a cat. You stroke a cuddly, purring mat. You wipe your feet upon a hat. I don't think your grown-up would like it very much if you did that. You pull a rabbit from the mat. You stroke a cuddly, purring hat. You wipe your feet upon your cat. I don't think your cat would like it very much if you did that. Plum is our next one. My favourite fruit is a plum. When I'm sad, I need my mum. I like to make noise on my drum. When we mix this one up, we get my favourite fruit is my mum. When I'm sad, I need my drum. I like to make noise on my plum. I wouldn't say that plums are the noisiest fruit, nevertheless. My favourite fruit is my drum. When I'm sad, I need a plum. I like to make noise on my mum. I don't think she'd like that very much. Telly. Now this one here might give you a clue as to the title. I like to put food in my welly. See if you can see how that's going to happen. At night I like watching the telly. My foot is too big for my welly. I like to put food in my belly. At night I like watching my welly. My foot is too big for my belly. I like to put food on the telly. At night I like watching my belly. My foot is too big for the telly. I like to put food in my welly. And there you go. Apple tree is next. One of my favourites. I like to climb an apple tree. I like to drink a cup of tea. I like to swim out in the sea. All perfectly normal if you can climb trees. I like to climb a cup of tea. I like to drink out in the sea. I like to swim in an apple tree. I like to climb out in the sea. I like to drink an apple tree. I like to swim in a cup of tea. It would have to be, as you can see, a very big cup of tea. The next one is called Liar. You never listen to a liar. You run away from a fire. You put your clothes in a dryer. And next we say, you never listen to a fire. You run away from a dryer. You put your clothes in a liar. Next, mess it around again and we get, you never listen to a dryer. You run away from a liar. You put your clothes in a fire. That's another thing your grown-ups are not going to like at all. What's coming up now, do you think? Lake? Lake? Yeah? It's fun to go boating out on the lake. There are thousands of scales on the back of a snake. You put lots of candles on a birthday cake. This is where the scene in the book diverts a bit from the scene behind us. It's fun to go boating on the back of a snake. There are thousands of scales on a birthday cake. You put lots of candles out on the lake. And it's fun to go boating on a birthday cake. There are thousands of scales out on the lake. Nah. And you put lots of candles on the back of a snake. And the last chapter of this book is called Star. You find your way with a star. You drive to school in the car, and strawberry jam comes from a jar. You find your way with a car. You drive to school in a jar. Strawberry jam comes from a star. That'll get some astronomers very interested, that one, I think. And we mix it around one more time to say you find your way with a jar, you drive to school in a star, and strawberry jam comes from a car. There you go, that is the weird world of my head, and I like to put food in my welly, read to you by a boating lake here in Liverpool. And I hope to be able to bring you some more fun soon.